When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everyone to the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets Chicago Road Course. Welcome to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and we are here in Chicago. John, my co-host, what do you think about the streets of Chicago?
I love it. I think it's going to be a fun race, and as a typical road course race, just like any other in any other motorsport, we are doing local cautions only, which means unless we have a roadblock, which is very possible, we are not going to throw full course yellows. So I'm looking, this is going to be an exciting race. I ran a race here last night, and I absolutely loved the track, first time being on the track. A lot of fun corners, a lot of braking zones that you have to master to be able to get around here in an effective time. And right now we're seeing these drivers take it to the track for qualifying. Right now we see some cars should be making some times. Now I do know that you have to have a clean lap here, just like any other racetrack, and not have any incidents to be able to post a time in qualifying. So that may pose a little bit of an issue because of how narrow these streets are, but we'll see who tops the board here in qualifying.
So this is a preview of what you will see this coming Saturday with the Tech for the real NASCAR drivers, both Xfinity as well as Cup Series.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We saw the Cup drivers hit the track here. I believe it was in either 2021 or 2022. I can't specifically remember when they took to the streets of Chicago, and that was a great show. This is going to be a great show. This weekend is going to be a great show, and we just got our first time on the board. Here we go. They're starting to roll in. There's Gibson there with a 130.79, and here comes all the time. So it's going to be a good show tonight for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it and see something that we've never really seen in NASCAR. We've seen road course racing, but not road course racing on the streets. So a street course here for the Cup cars. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the cool thing about this track is that it was actually modeled in iRacing before NASCAR said, okay, let's do this. So that was very cool. Looking forward to it. We've got a crazy full field tonight. I think we've got over 30 drivers again here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Great turnout. Let's cover a couple of things. Let's go up and let's kind of talk about the race info for what we've got here. Or let's cover, John, let's cover your keys to this race.
Yeah, so Chicago, the Windy City, for number one, it's going to be survival. This is going to be a survival of the fittest and who can stay out of trouble. I don't think it's going to be a matter of who can run the fastest lap. I think it's going to be a matter of who can just stay out of trouble. That's number one. Going with this attrition. Attrition is going to be massive here, especially with keeping your mind in the right mindset to know what corner you're in, what braking zone you need to engage in, because some corners look very similar to others, as well as how hard you're pressing on the brakes, as well as not sliding the tires and going into the wall. Third, talking about this a little bit more, but the braking zones are very important here at Chicago. So we have, I believe, with 9 or 11 corners, I believe that's 11 to 12 braking zones possibly. So mastering the braking zones, making sure you're staying out of trouble, and keeping focused will get you the victory here tonight. Well, Rick, it looks like we got some of the track facts up. What we got?
Well, we do, and of course, we don't have a map to show you there, but we'll try to bring one up later as we get into the race itself. We've got 40 laps, 60% fuel, 1 fast repair, 5 sets of tires, 3 green-white checkers, which I hope we don't have to use. The Tech4Troops Scheme Skirmish will be here tonight, as well as Owl's Nest Racing Pole Award, which goes to Stephen Gibson Jr. as our pole sitter.
Yeah, good job to Mr. Gibson there, and we'll see what we got going on. But Rick, let's pull up our starting lineup for the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets Chicago event here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. On the pole, like we said, Stephen Gibson there in the number 31. To his outside, David Clayman there in the 17, with Sean Shootman starting in third. Alonzo King to his outside in fourth. Jesse Vaughn in the number 84. Carvana Machine starting in fifth with Austin Hable in sixth. Ryan Pittman there in seventh with Mike Sladker in eighth. Colin Garrett, very familiar name here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, as well as the actual NASCAR series, starting in P9, and David Miller rounds out the top 10.
Ian Ogden is in 11, and Jeff Nairn is sitting in 12th. Joe Gregory is in 13th, Charles Van Scoik in 14th, Harley Barletta in 15th, and Zach Ward sitting in 16th. David Watts in 17th, Grant Altizer in 18th, William Mann Jr. in 19th, and Mark Hanna sits in 20.
In 21st, you have Sammy Harrell right there. 22nd, Ty Bostic. 23rd, Luke Bullard. 24th, making his return to the Tech4Troops Cup Series. That is Jacob Walker there. 25th is Brad Previtt. In 26th, Russell Keats. 27th, Kane Van Mark. And 28th, Jorge Rincon. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah.
29th is Evan Amick. And rounding out 30th is Pete Woodrum.
All right, that's our starting grid for tonight's Tech4Troops Cup Series event here in Chicago.
You know, one thing I noticed by racing this course last night, even the pace lap is a little bit dangerous because you have to pay attention to where you are on the track. Don't be surprised if we see some contact in some of the narrow corners simply because, you know, these guys have spotters and all of that fun stuff, but sometimes you can't see the entire track. Actually, that's a big part of how this race is going to go. There's a spotter stand. I believe, I forget where it is, but I think it's on top of a bus. Is that correct?
Have you heard
about that, Riz?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think door bumper courier guys were talking about being on a bus. There's just all kinds of different positions that they have to take for a course like this. I don't believe we're going to have a course map, so we're going to have to keep talking you through it. Our iRacing software was not cooperative in providing us with a broadcast graphic, so we'll have to wing it. So bear with us.
Oh, we got it. No, we got it. I'm looking right now. My other monitor, I have a map, and I was running this course last night. I know the corners mostly, but have to maybe do a little bit of reference points there. Right now, they are about to go into turn 4, the hard left-hand turn, and they're about to go over the bridge into turn 5. I'm going to do a little bit of turn-by-turn analysis here just so you can get a good idea about where they are. This is the tightest portion of the track right here. You have to be very careful. This is turn 5. My bad. Wait, is that right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't remember. Either way, this is the sweeping chicane. We're going to coin that term here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. A very high-speed chicane that goes in the hard right-hand corner.
We've already had some folks at the back of the pack getting in together into each other, so it's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah, the turn I was referring to earlier was turn 7, by the way.
So it's 7 after the bridge?
So it's 7 after the bridge, 8, and then the sweeping chicane 9. Hard right-hand turn is 10. Hard right-hand turn to 11. And
pace car
here we
is
go.
off.
Yep, here we go. Flagman has a green flag in his hand, and we are green flag racing from Chicago in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. And here comes turn 1, and we already got a little bit of a dive bomb there. Let's see what happens. Car locking it up.
Yep.
Can we get through turn
was David
1?
Clayman. We'll keep looking back at the field.
Everybody seems to be minding their P's and Q's right now. We got the 31 a little bit loose coming out of turn 2 there, but able to keep it going. We're going to go to turn 3 right here, and a hard braking corner going into turn 4. The 17 of David Clayman out front. Yep.
Drifted.
Turn 5. We got a hard left-hand corner going into turn 6. Right here, you're about to see them go into turn 6. There it is. And this is turn 7. A hard right-hander to the narrowest part of the track.
We'll try to stay with the field a little bit here.
Got car slide all over the place. That's turn 7. Oh, got possibly a stack up in the back. Nope, looks like we're all clear there. We are still racing. I don't see anybody. I mean, I've seen some people hit the wall, but nobody wrecking as of yet, and I hope I didn't jinx anybody.
Oh, we're going to see lots of that type of impact and damage. We're completing our first lap.
Lap 1 done. Out front, David Clayman, followed by Sean Shootman, Alonzo King, Austin Habel, and Mike Slatker. See a pass potentially for the lead here. Sean Shootman going to the outside. You can't make that move.
Oh,
we were wrecking. There 17. It is. Oh, hard hit. We may have to go back and take a look at that one, Rick, because I called that one right out of turn number 2. See if we can go back and take a look at Sean Shootman here and see what happened. Yeah, it was Sean Shootman and the 17 of Clayman. Not sure if we're able to get a visual of that.
Trying to find, see if we can grab that bit of.
It's all right, maybe a little bit difficult trying to find. All right, here's right after. There's turn 1 and turn 2.
We just missed it. Hang on, let's go.
Oh, we do have a big stack up live, Rick. Big stack up with the 6 and the 37. Sean Shootman is turned around. Big stack up in the back. 69 is involved. 27 is involved.
Oh, he just, okay. So, he jumped to the pits before we could get that. Let's see if we can try to bring that up.
Yep, Sean Shootman was involved in a little bit of a pinball accident there, and it looks like he's dropped to the back. Mike Slatker is also falling, and so is Jacob Walker at the current moment.
Here's the incident with Sean Shootman and and the number 6 of Hable. Then he gets pinned back by, can't tell, there's a 31 coming up behind him. There's lots of, that's Van Scoik there. And he's stuck there. That's Colin hitting him. The Clayman goes by. Slagter's got no nose. Yeah.
A lot going on right there. But out front, you have Alonzo King right now making his way through turn 7, about to go into turn 8 right here into the sweeping chicane, keeping his car clean and making sure it's out of trouble.
He's got a heck of a lead. Let's look at that gap. He's got 7 seconds over Jesse Vaughn. Let's jump back to Jesse Vaughn. Jesse Vaughn's got like 7 seconds over Hable. There's Hable with the 13 behind him, 31 rather, and David Clayman behind him and Van Scoik. Those 4 are running together. But the leaders, King and Vaughn, have checked out a bit by nearly 15 seconds over these guys.
Yep, and Alonzo King just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 1:30.1 here. Very impressive for Alonzo King. A full 2 seconds faster than any other driver on the track. So we'll see how this plays out.
Gregory and Ian Ogden, Zach Ward.
Yep, got a pass going into turn 1 right here. Ian Ogden drops down to the bottom side, completes that pass on the 56.
Back through the field, lots of different lines as these drivers navigate this intense street course.
Yep, let's stay with this group right here. I think it may be a little bit exciting here as this group goes down into turn number 4. Ian Ogden leading the pack going down to the 5.
These guys, that's Ogden, Ward, Luke Bullard, Colin Garrett, Joe Gregory, Harley Barletta, Ty Bostic, I think, is in this group.
They are, and here we go. That was turn 6. Now going into turn number 7. The hard right-hander. Everybody minding their P's and Q's right here going into turn 8. And then the sweeping chicane, turn 9, which can get some drivers.
Yeah, because you've got to get on the brakes, then and accelerate through that chicane, then get back on the brakes to get out again. It's just crazy. All right, jumping back through the field, let's go back to, trying to see where we've got, this is Mark Hanna, Russell Keats, little pass right there. Oh, looks like, oh wow, Mark Hanna's got some toe link issues on that right front. That right front is gone. It's pointing in the wrong direction. He may have gotten into it with Grant Altizer, possibly.
Yep. We got a battle with the 6 and the 17. They've been battling for a quick second. Let's see if we can go up to that battle, Rick. They are side by side going into turn number 4. Oh, he locked it up. He locked it up. They made it, but the 6 and the 17 have been going at it ever since. Let's see what happens. It's one of the battles I've been paying attention to. It's been a very fierce battle between Austin Hable there and the 17. 17 drops down, trying to beat him into the corner. He does. What a pass.
Oh,
but tags the wall.
No,
Yep, that's a... Go ahead.
It's going to happen. You know, if you're getting on the brakes late, you're gonna you run that risk.
Yeah, and what that does to the 17 is that completely messes up probably the right front toe link, or my bad, whatever side of that. Yeah, the right front toe link there on that number 17. Now, I had a right front toe link damage last night, and I was able to get around here okay, but you have to make sure that you're keeping up with things with that car. So right now, as it stands, Alonzo King still out front with Jesse Vaughn, Steven Gibson, Austin Hable, and David Clayman rounding out your top 5. Biggest mover of the race is Luke Bullard up 14 positions, followed by Russell Keats up 12 positions. And let's keep on this battle, Rick. These guys, 17's not going away.
Nope. And he's right there on the tail of the 6. You've got right behind him with Charles Van Scoik right there. These 3 are battling for position. This represents 4th, 5th, and 6th. So
very essential spots. This is where the 17 was a little bit better then to 6. Let's see if he can get a better run out of 5 down into turn 6. He does get a better run. See if he tries to drop down in the turn 7 again, or my bad, turn 6. And we got 7 right here. Eight. Sweeping chicane number 9.
And you'll have spectators right on that wall.
You will. I mean, it's gonna be an exciting corner for sure. And I expect some drivers here tonight to send it, or in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series to send it in some of these corners. And you may see a lot of action. Ooh, 6 in the wall, big time. That's going to let the both the 17 and the 41 by.
He's got some
hard
damage there for
contact.
sure,
Yep, he has definitely damaged that right front toe link. And there's Austin Habel's day. Not done, but definitely makes it harder.
Yeah, I'm looking for the damage per se. It doesn't actually show, although he, I think, may have just towed to.
He actually just disconnected, Rick.
Okay.
Something must have happened. Not really sure. It just says he has not not in the race.
All right. That happens.
It does. It does.
All right, Alonzo King is your leader. He's got nearly a 12-second lead over second place Jesse Vaughn. Second place Jesse Vaughn has got a bit of traffic going on. He has got, can't tell just who is in front of him. That's Walker.
Yep.
That's Jacob Walker. Jacob Walker is the last car on the lead lap. And he's about to go lap down. Mike Slagter is right there as well. Mike Slagter is currently showing also a lap down. As Jesse Bob begins to cut through the field. Coming back to Stephen Gibson to 31. He's currently sitting in third place. Again, dealing with lap traffic. That's Mark Hanna in front of him. Looks like Mark may have had that damage repaired on that right front toe link.
He does, and we just had a new fastest lap set in the race. Sean Shootman, all the way back in 19th, just ran a 1:30 flat at the fastest time so far here.
David Clement continues to make it around. He has not gone in, so whatever he's surviving with the damage that he got into, you can see there's a little bit of damage on the Van Scoik machine. David Clement is in fourth, Van Scoik in fifth. Ian Ogden has begun to climb up. He is now sitting in 6-0, and just as we brought that attention to Ian, he tagged the wall.
Broadcaster's curse. Broadcaster's curse. Yep. It happens.
It happens. It truly does.
And you can just see right there with Ian how bumpy this track is. I mean, it is a street course, and, you know, it's not smooth like some of the super speedways and some of the quarter miles or half miles or mile and a halves, all the different tracks that we go to. So it's a bumpy one.
Yeah, I was listening to a number of podcasts, and they were talking about having to raise up the cars themselves to avoid dealing with manholes and manhole covers.
I didn't even think about that, Rick. That's a good point.
So lots of things happening in the field. There's William Van Jr. was just involved in the crash. Jacob Walker involved. Grant Altizer was also involved. Back and see, just they're still making it their way around, but definitely is cars are not as clean as they would like them to be. So with a road course, there's localized cautions, if any. So really it's more about trying to keep it pointed in the right direction. And if you have to get to the pits to avoid having to tow there, you can drive in and get some damage repaired. That's the best way to go.
Yeah, and with this being said, you will have to pit, I believe, here at Chicago, because of the fact that we are running on 60% fuel, and it's a pretty long track. It's a 2.14 mile track, so take this into consideration, kind of with how you would treat like a super speedway. Obviously, you're nowhere near flat out the entire time, but with that being said, 45, close. With that being said, though, you will have to come down pit road at some point in the race. So it's kind of a matter of, when you want to come out or go down pit road. I mean, right now with Alonzo King, the 14-second gap that he has, he can really kind of pick and choose whenever he wants to come down and know that he has a great cushion.
Washington 56 of Joe Gregory navigating around this course. He's got Harley Barletta behind him. Let's take a peek up at Colin Garrett. He's battling right now the 21 of Ian Ogden right on his tail.
Yeah, he's going to have a run out of the turn 5 here. Great run for Colin Garrett. See if he's able to make that pass. He definitely has the pass made. Going down into turn 6.
David Watts, who is at least a lap down. 3 laps down, sorry. Oh, he locked it up right in front of Colin, but he made it through.
That's also the dangerous game you play when you approach a car that is either damaged or a lap down, and they may not have the same kind of power that you have due to damage. They could possibly lock it up a lot easier than you, so you have to be on your toes when it comes to approaching those slower cars. Looks like we have a battle going on right behind Jesse Vaughn. Not really sure who that is, but there's a side-by-side battle, or it was. I believe that was a 17 and the 31.
These guys have been battling this whole race.
They have been.
25% of this race is over, 30 laps to go. Stay with us. We're going to run a commercial side-by-side. You won't miss much. We'll stay on this group, and we'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets here in Chicago, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. And with that, I want to reach out and mention our sponsors with the Tech4Troops Cup Series. You've got Tech4Troops, the 1111 Project, and U-Haul. Those sponsors make this happen.
They definitely do, and we're looking at a great show tonight here. Obviously, the start of the race was a little bit shaky. Everybody stacked up. But right now, we have 19 cars on the lead lap and 7 cars a lap down, or more than one lap down, rather. So still a great showing, 19 cars still in it. Looks like something happened to Harley Barletta. Not really sure what happened to the 81 there. He dropped. He looks like he's on pit road.
Yep, on pit road.
Doesn't look like he's getting tires or anything, so not really sure what happened. But here's Alonzo King, our leader, with a 15.5-second gap right now on Jesse Vaughn. And Rick, let's see as he approaches right here, turn 9, going through turn 9. When he gets to the start-finish line, let's see if we can. Right on board.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Right on board with Alonzo King. See what he sees as he's leading the way here in the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets. I guess 80, technically, because it's 40.
Yeah.
40 times 2 miles, that'd be 80.
2.2. Right.
So, yeah, something like that. Let's see if we can ride on board with Mr. Alonzo. Goes down into turn 1.
You can bring up some dashboard info.
Great, let's do it. And this is what I was talking about this in the pre-race, Rick, where I'm guessing he's not going to go down below second gear. It's a little bit risky, especially in these cars. You'll see him down in the third, probably downshift into second. Yep, there he goes. And going to get hard back into the gas coming out of turn 5. Long straightaway down into turn 6. Braking zone gets down in the second gear. And then the narrowest part of the track, turn 7, one of the most dangerous here.
Definitely using that engine to slow him down off the brake. That allows you to steer into the turn versus on the brakes, which will impact your ability to turn.
He's running a really smooth line. He's not overdriving the car, and just really consistent out of this number 80 machine of Alonzo King as he gets back into third gear in the fourth and drops it back down into second as he approaches the last corner and back to the start finish line. That is a lap around the Chicago street course with Alonzo King in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. He's leading the field now by 15 seconds, slowly dropping. Jesse Vaughn slightly closing the gap a little bit to that number 80 machine.
See what Jesse Vaughn's having to deal with. Hey, I tell you, that 17 has caught up that pack with David Clayman, Charles Van Scoik, and Stephen Gibson have kind of narrowed the gap with Vaughn.
Yep. David Clayman just ran the fastest lap of the race at 1:29.7. That's a full 0.3 faster than I believe that was Sean Shootman's time, even though he just ran a 1:29.79 as well, and much faster than Alonzo King's fastest time of a 1:30.1. So David on the roll here. He is about 3 seconds back from Jesse and closing.
So he's got Jesse in his sights. He's just a few hundred yards behind him.
Yep, now he's got the gap to under 2 seconds. With looking at the data, one of the biggest points of emphasis is that David is very good on the back half of the track. So turns basically 7 all the way to the start-finish line. David has a much better line, and even though his car is damaged, he's able to catch him now down to just 2.6 seconds.
Man,
a little bit in the wall there.
Yeah, he drifted through that corner for sure. Now he's definitely beating the heck out of that machine to try and make up some time here. Yeah. Did he lose a little time? May have lost a second or two.
Yeah, he lost about a second.
That car pointing in the wrong direction?
Oh, David Watts. I believe he towed.
I think he did.
Looks like we have a battle going on between Luke Bullard and Russell Keats. Let's see if we can go to that battle really quick.
Oh, Russell Keats is... he definitely has an issue with his nose.
And there it goes.
And he's entering onto pit road.
Well, that battle is no more.
Let's hope that they got that piece of debris picked up. One of the corner workers.
Yeah, hopefully. And let's see if we can go to another battle on the track. Ryan Pittman, I believe, and William Mann Jr. That looks like a battle that's heating up quite a bit.
There's a lot of battles going on. That's Greg Altizer that they're working their way around, but Ty Bostic in front.
Yep, this looks like this is William Mann Jr. right there going into the inside.
Yep.
Locks it up a little bit. We also have William in the wall. Looks like we have another battle going on with Sean Shootman and David Miller, I believe.
That looks pretty tight. Yep, that's David Miller in the 94. Shipman to the inside.
And there Sean goes.
That's a pretty cool chromed up paint scheme by David Miller.
Oh, and let's go to Jesse Vaughn really quick, Rick. A lot of lap traffic in front of him, trying to get through William Mann Jr., trying to get through Altizer. This is the dangerous game you play with road course or street course racing. You're gonna pass the lapped cars and you're gonna pass those slower guys, and you have to be very methodical to not get in the way. There is Ryan Pittman there.
Yeah, he's got definitely a bit of William Mann Jr. and Pittman in front. They let him go.
And look who's right there on the back doorstep. That's a 17. David Clayman there. He's looking and hunting, trying to get here in the top two on the tail end of what now is Ryan Pittman as they go down into the final corner.
24 laps to go. Don't go away. We're going to give you another commercial side by side. You will not miss a thing. All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets of Chicago. I'm Rick Sousa here with my co-broadcaster, John Terutris, and we are just watching as these Tech4Troops guys make their way through the streets.
Yep, let's go on. Let's go to David Clayman right behind the 84. He is trying to get around William Mann Jr. Came on the radio, not really sure if that 17 is too happy with the 29. Oh, tight.
Oh, he shut him down.
There we go. Well,
he made his way around.
He did. And then another close battle that looks like we have are Ty Bostic and Jeff Narin. See if we can go over to them. Looks like Ty Bostic is close. Oh, hold on to it. Ty Bostic is about half a second back from Jeff Narin, both the MB2 drivers there.
They are slinging it around these corners.
They definitely are. There's Ty Bostic. And let's go over to Sean Shootman. I think we have a closer battle there between him and Luke Bullard. This is definitely a strong points battle here between these two guys. Luke up in 9th, up 14 positions. Sean -7 on the race.
Sean
not a good.
Qualified so well. He was up there in P3.
He was. Another big mover. We don't have to go over to him. We can keep on watching this battle. But Charles Van Scoik up 10 positions. Great running from him.
He's right there behind Dave Bonet. I say he's behind. He's sitting in 4th, but he's nearly 7 seconds, 6 seconds behind David Clayman, who is trying to catch Jesse Vaughn. There's about a 3.5 second gap between Jesse in 2nd and David Clayman. And both of those guys are 15 to 20 seconds behind our leader, Alonzo King, who's really just running some great laps.
He really is. David's kind of fallen back just a little bit, but Jesse's been able to keep it within the 15-second mark. So we'll see how this race plays out once they make it down pit road and what that strategy call is there. Here's Sean again, trying to get around the 3 of Luke Bullard there. Closed it down to 0.3 of a second. See if he can get a run. He got a little bit of a toe going down into turn 6. Hard on the brakes here. Locks it up. The 3 locked it up. That opens the door for the 37. Caught that one live as Sean Shootman now moves into P9.
Great job. Van Scoik was on pit road. He is now out. Ian Ogden is currently on pit road.
And looks like we may have a...
point.
We have a battle between Van Scoik and Colin Garrett. See if we can go on board with them. Got another close battle here. Van Scoik was within 3 tenths.
Getting out of the pits. So he has got fresh fuel and tires. So
he does. He has a major advantage. I mean, maybe not for a couple turns, but once those tires start to heat up, you'll see that number 41 come alive, as he now has about a second and about a second between them.
All right, 21 laps to go. We're just about crossing the halfway point.
Jesse Vaughn on pit road from second, which moves David up into first, 19 seconds behind Alonzo King. It looks like Jesse's going to split this right in half. Pretty common strategy for road course, street course racing.
Just fuel. Just fuel, no tires.
Interesting decision. Interesting decision.
That gives Jesse an 8.98 stop.
I mean, he's pretty confident. I mean, the last time he ran around this track, he ran a 130. Well, it was technically a 138, but that's because he went down pit road. I'm very interested to see how this works. This is a very cool strategy, actually. Yeah, it's bold. I mean, the tire wear isn't terrible, but going 40 laps compared to 20 and 20, when it, is that worth an extra 4, 5, 6 seconds,
I mean, he's only lost 3 positions.
He has. And Alonzo King, I believe, on pit road, Rick.
Yep, your leader is now on pit road.
All right, I'm going to follow. Yep. I'm going to follow this 84. He just got around turn 6 going into, or my bad, turn 7. He's on turn 8 right now going into the sweeping chicane.
Clayman is also 9. In the pits.
Can Jesse Vaughn leapfrog these guys? He's got to get on it. Just got to turn 10, going into turn 11, and about to make his way to turn 12.
Alonzo King is out. Fuel only stop.
There's Alonzo, and then
David Clayman, a little bit of a miscue in the pits. Again, fuel only, guys. Jesse Vaughn back up to second.
And he just ran a 152. Let me take that back. But he looks to be keeping very consistent times going through all sectors, even on those tires. So right now the gap still 15.8 seconds from him to Alonzo.
Clayman is out. Stephen Gibson is sitting in 4th.
Zach Ward, I believe, is in pit road, is so with David Miller.
All right, we're going to take a full commercial break. Bear with us. We will be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Taken into the Streets of Chicago. Alonzo King being shown right there is your leader. Jesse Vaughn is sitting in second. David Clayman is right back there, sitting in third. We jump back to Ian Ogden, who's in fourth. Colin Garrett, who has got Charles Van Scoik right on his tail. That is a battle for position. And I think this is Jeff Nairn. Jeff's in seventh. Ty Bostic is eighth, and Zach Ward right there. That is also for position. Sean Shippen is trying to close that gap. He is in 10th. All right, so we're kind of seeing a lot of stability with these top 10 guys. That actually is those who are on the lead lap are the top 10. Everybody else past 10 is a lap or so down.
Which is pretty. I don't want to say surprising, but when it comes to running as many laps as we've run, the most consistent guys are going to go to the top. And Alonzo King just ran his fastest lap of the race, a 1:29.3, which proves that you don't need to worry about tires here. It's all about consistency and picking off some time. So, yeah, right now we got 10 cars on the lead lap. The first car lap down is Mike Slatker there. And we have some battles going on here with Ty Bostic. Looks like something happened there. And we got some guys kind of getting back what looks like on the lead lap. Trying to figure out some data points here. Jeff Nairn looks like he's on pit road, possibly.
Possibly.
Yep, there's Jeff on pit road.
Okay, so it's like the top, I guess those guys were back in the pits. Data's coming in. So we have 15 cars on the lead lap.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Doing very well. I'm having a lot of fun in the Windy City road course that you guys have got going on tonight. I'm a fan.
It's a pretty wild adventure for these guys who are usually just going around all turning left, and they've got some challenges tonight.
It's keeping them on their toes. Absolutely. Before we go too much further, I wanted to announce our winner for last week's Scheme Skirmish on the Speedway, brought to you by Tech4Troops Gaming. And that was the 41 car, Mr. Van Schaik. Am I saying that?
Van Scoik, yeah.
Van Scoik, awesome. Well, he's getting some of that sweet Amazon loot coming to him. And I see a lot of really cool designs this week. And it's just phenomenal to see. Even some of the racers were posting them to the Discord a little earlier, so I could have a sneak preview, and that was epic. They look real good.
Anyone that caught your eye, we could kind of highlight them tonight.
Oh man, Mr. Woodrum is killing it. I'm not sure if he's racing the one that he sent me earlier, but it is outstanding.
Well, I think he is. Unfortunately, he is not in the show right now. He has retired.
Okay, well, I mean that's all right. Some of the ones that are on the track right now are pretty great. I'm looking at Mr. King's going around. His is always very sharp. He has good contrast to his colors. I could talk forever about how great these are. I'm a big fan of the 1111 project stuff, because I don't know if you guys knew, Tech4Troops has been doing some work with them. We've got Colin Garrett spreading our technology message far and wide and trying to help veterans out, and that's just a big thing that we have going on. Our logo is officially on Mr. Garrett's 44 car. Looks real good, and that's just a way that we're able to reach out and give no-cost computers to veterans in need around the country. So as Colin goes around, we're able to make contact and make sure that those veterans have the computer and then have the ability to use it and better their lives.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, I'm still grateful that I could drop in and just kind of catch you guys up on what's going on. I love this this format. This is a great mix it up that keeps these guys on their toes.
Yeah, and with 15 laps left to go tonight. There's I think Luke Bullard was involved in a incident back.
Yeah, something happened.
Watts, Grant Altizer were involved. Yep. The good thing is these car bodies, with a virtual, yes, but they happen to. There's some resilience to them.
Absolutely, these cars are not shy or faint of heart, shall I say?
That's a great paint scheme right there. Is that Miller?
That is outstanding.
That's David Miller. A lot of
chrome.
Ooh, I like that. Some great tactics. See if you can blind your opponents as you're taking the corners. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, when they introduced the James Bond oil slick, that's when I'm definitely going to buy season tickets to the races.
There you go.
Well, I always have a good time checking in with you guys. I'm on the edge of my seat for the rest of the race, and I'm anxious to see who comes in first.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thanks for checking in, Jason. We'll keep up with the scheme skirmish and hear about who wins next week.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, guys.
Thank you. That's Jason Parker with Tech4Troops checking in here tonight, and we appreciate not only what Jason does, but also with what Tech4Troops delivers here as our title sponsor. Looks like Alonzo King has caught some lap traffic of the 45 of Mark Hanna and Ty Bostic.
Yeah, this is going to be the fun journey that he has to get through these lap cars. Cleanly.
He's got 18, almost 19 seconds of gap between himself and Jesse Vaughn. I bet someone's going to head back there. I know that he and David Clayman are close. They're just 5 or 6 car lengths between them, and that is for P2.
Yeah, it's a pretty close battle. For that spot, David's been on the move ever since we started talking about him. He's now closed the gap to about a second, so we'll see. Ooh, who was that? Is that Luke Bullard?
I think that was Luke Bullard. Kind of lost the rear end.
Oh, and it looks like he has a toe link issue. I believe in that number.
Wall.
Yep,
Ian
that's
Ogden,
machine.
I think, just may have gotten into something. Yeah, he's got some right side, some left side damage.
Looks like there's a battle going on between Ryan Pittman and Jeff Nairn as well. See if we can go back and take a look at that battle.
It's tight between these two.
And we have 13 laps to go here in the Tech4Troops 2. Let's go back to the leader. Big traffic for the leader. He has nowhere to go. Yep, this is a little bit of a dangerous game. If anybody overshoots that corner, he's in some trouble.
If everybody spins in front of him, he's stuck.
Yeah, he is, and that's going to close the gap between him and Jesse Vaughn. Still 18-second gap. And let's go to Jesse Vaughn. David Clayman is on the back doorstep. He is there. David has entered the picture. Let's see what he can do. Going down into turn 4, now turn 5.
He has closed his gap.
He just ran his fastest lap of the race, a 1:29.2, which is the fastest lap of the race. Colin Garrett is now on pit road. Oh!
Vaughn
Jesse
has
Vaughn.
tagged the wall, opened the door for David Clayman to move into second place.
Yeah, Jesse and I did the same exact thing in the race last night. You can tag that wall. It'll mess up your toe a little bit, but you can still make it around here. So we'll see how this affects Mr. Vaughn's race. Hopefully he's able to keep in it. Colin Garrett back off of pit road.
That was a 22.85 second stop. Was that no clue?
Not sure. Definitely possibly getting some repairs made, something along those lines. But Colin Garrett now back in P6 with just about to be 12 laps to go here when the leader crosses the line. Speaking of the leader, he's just trying to make his way through this.
He's got a lot of cars to pick through.
Yeah, here comes this. That's a 7 there. You got William Ann Jr. in front of him.
Zach Moore's the last car on the lead lap. Careful.
Tight.
Pass William Mann Jr.
It's a hard corner to pass, even if you're going 20 miles an hour. Which they're not. Pretty close, but.
Good race. You can see the bumps in the road. Oh. 7 went wide, giving Alonso that opportunity to get by.
And he took it.
Now David Clayman, who's in second place, he's going to navigate those same 3 drivers.
He does, but he's closed the gap to 14 seconds, Rick. Ever since he got past Jesse Vaughn, he is closing this gap to Mr. King, and he was 0.3 faster last lap. So if he has to make up 15 seconds, he really has to go.
Yeah, and Alonso doesn't have anybody in front of him right now. He's got some gaps before he gets to some lap traffic. He's got some clear track. Unfortunately, David Clayman cannot say the same. He's got to navigate those few drivers in front of him to get by last lap traffic to get up to the front.
He does, and right now, just looked at the board. Sean Schubin just ran the fastest lap of the race with the 1:29.224. Sean Schubin back in 7th, trying to climb his way back up.
Jesse Vaughn is right there. He's staying solidly in 3rd place. That little incident with the wall didn't affect him too badly. Other incidents on the track, Sammy Harrell has had some contact with the wall. David Watts, Jeff Nairn. That's the 17 getting around Greg Altizer. A little bit of a wide approach by David Clayman. Unfortunately, that definitely, you can see that his time fell, and now he's 17 seconds behind Alonso King with 10 laps to go. Looking back at Alonso, let's get an in-car again with Alonso. Let's see. It would have been more fun to do that when there's all that lap traffic to deal with. But let's see what other battles are going on. It's David Clayman.
Nothing really going on, Rick. I mean, there's a lot of, not many close battles at all. I mean, the closest battle is Schubin and Garrett. That's about 2 seconds.
Yeah. Just kind of flipping back amongst the drivers. They're really stretched out. If we had a track map to show you, you'd probably see them pretty much all stretched out across the track. Oh, there's someone going down pit road. That looks like that's Sammy Harrell and Mark Hanna. Both now on pit road. Oh,
no, hard hit. Oh, and we got a wreck. That's right in front of Sean Schubin. That's Ty Bostic. Oh, hard into the wall,
oh,
and he retired.
Yep.
Or towed. Yep. Looks like Colin Garrett. Something happened with Garrett. Garrett's back on pit road.
Nothing. There's nothing in the board that would tell us that there was any contact. He just came down onto pit road.
Does he have a quick? Is he going to use a quick repair?
Oh yeah.
Boom. Yep. There we go. Possibly had a toe link issue or something going on. Back out front, 9 laps to go. 16-second lead for Mr. King. He is the king of the Windy City as we speak.
All right, we're going to take a quick side-by-side commercial break. You won't miss anything. 9 laps to go here in Chicago.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troops.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops, taking it to the streets of Chicago. 9 laps to go. Your leader, Alonzo King Jr., out front. He's got David Clayman on his tail in second. No, not his tail. 17 seconds, 18 seconds back. And you've got Jesse Vaughn sitting in third. Charles Van Scoik is in fourth. Sean Shipman is in fifth. I think those are that is the cars on the lead lap.
We do, and it looks like we have maybe a battle between David Miller and Colin Garrett there for 7th and 8th. They're both a lap down, but still a battle within the top 10. Let's see if we can go on, see what we got going on there. Right in front of them is David Clayman, but there is Colin Garrett in the 69 machine trying to get around that number 94 of David Miller right in front of him going into turn 2 right now. Colin Garrett, a seasoned driver in many different series, so bringing his talents to the Tech4Troops Cup Series is also is always very cool to see and see how he's able to perform. And looks like he's trying to get a run there on the 94. Little loose.
They're still getting up to speed here. I saw 142. There's 144.
Yeah, he had a quick repair that he just was able to take, so he should have a clean car for the end of the race, and we'll see what happens, see if he can get around this 94 machine of David Miller. That is the closest battle on the track, and that is for 7th place as it stands. Right now, Alonzo King just ran his fastest lap of the race with a 1:29.1. Oh, that's a 42 stop there.
That was the Massage Envy. That 42 was stopped on the track. That's Sammy Harrell. They made it by.
Oh, 94 a little bit loose out of the corner. Let's see if this opens up the door for Colin Garrett.
He blocks him.
Colin backs it up. I like the move here, trying to get a deep dive into the corner. Oh, he drove it in hard. Or did the 94 not drive it in hard enough? That's always a fun battle here. One thing you pay attention to is the braking zones and figuring out what to do, because you can really kind of get on the brake and carry as much speed, not as much speed as you want, but you can really change up how you brake going into the corners and try to mess with other drivers, try to get them off their line, and that's kind of what is going on here, still riding on board. This is the closest battle on the track, Rick. The only closest battle out of the side of this is Charles Van Scoik and Sean Schubin, which is a 1.75 gap right now.
So this is a battle right now for 7th and 8th. There's a battle for position with 7 laps to go. Alonzo King has extended his lead over David Clayman by 20.6 seconds. Watching this race has kind of changed my attitude a bit about what to expect this weekend. This is a pretty cool venue. Even if it does come back here again or not, it's interesting.
It is, and I think it's just getting through the chaos, the initial chaos of the race, when everybody's stacked up, and once it's all spread out.
We're watching the 69.
Oh, hard hit for Colin Garrett. That's gonna definitely ruin his night, and that's going to have a retirement there. Unfortunate there for Colin Garrett.
Yeah, since he just got that car repaired.
That's how easy things can go wrong here at the Chicago Street Course, and we may see that a little bit on Sunday too, or Saturday, both, I guess.
Jesse Vaughn just posted a 1:28.97.
Wow. What a lap for Mr. Vaughn. 47 seconds back from the leader, 26 seconds back from second place. And the closest guy to him was 15 seconds back, so nobody really battling him too hard right now.
He's going to need one of those guys to make a mistake if he has any chance of trying to get up and crack that P2 position.
Sure. But with that fastest lap, though, it poses some playoff point implications. So that'll give him another bonus point for having the fastest lap. So unless somebody else decides to run a sub 29, but nobody's been able to run a sub 29. Vaughn's the only driver to get to that point. So we'll see how this goes with 5 laps to go.
Be a good podium finish for Jesse if he's able to hang on to this. Looks like he may. 5 laps to go here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series event here in Chicago. I want to thank you for tuning in, whichever stream you're watching us on. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Good like and follow along so we can notify you when future events come up. We sure do appreciate that. And you're watching Alonzo King pretty much run away with this. He's got some traffic ahead of him. That's the Sean Schumann. Now Sean is the last car on the lead lap, so he is battling to keep his position. But in front of him, you've got the 41 of Charles Van Scoik. Those are, those two are right there at the tail end of the lead lap.
And they're battling out. I mean, it's a position battle. It's a matter of a top 4 or top 5. So we'll see if 37 lets the 80 go round. 37 does not. 37 kind of gets to the bottom, but the 80 goes to the low side trying to get a run off the corner. He does slightly. We'll see if he's able to make a move. But Sean Schumann's like, hold up. I'm still trying to battle for this 4th place position here. So we'll see what happens. 80 dives deep. Doesn't make the pass.
Yeah, Alonso's not just content with just sitting back there. He's scratching. Take a peek back at David Clayman. He's back here. He's got pretty much no one from a. Oh, that's the 42. You just saw go around the back there.
Ooh.
And he continues. That was Sammy Harrell. Did a little pirouette in the back of that corner.
Here goes Sean Schumann to the inside of Van Scoik. Down to the final corner. He gets into him.
Contact right in front of the leader. Side by side drag race. Contact again.
I'd be worried if I was the 80. I don't know what's going to happen out of this. Someone's going to be in the wall here, I think, going into turn 1. Oh, tight, and they're in the wall, and they're wrecking. Yep, I called it right there.
Yep, the 80 goes by clear. That was, there would be some discussion about that at some point.
I mean, Sean had the position on the outside, so we'll see what happens there between those 2 guys. It actually did not affect them at all. They're both still 4th and 5th. They just have a little bit more damage than they did last time, but then their battle's not as close. Looks like Ian Ogden may be on pit road.
He is. Not sure what kind of damage Ian has on his car, but with 3 laps to go, he is coming to pit road. Maybe he's going to use his quick repair. That's what it looks like. All right, jumping back up to P2. This is David Clayman. He has got just lap traffic in front of him.
I'd go back to Sean Schumann. Sean Schumann's on the tail of Van Scoik again. We got to watch this. This battle isn't over. This is not over yet. Sean Schumann wants another crack at Van Scoik, and let's see if we can get it done.
He's hard charging right there.
He is. He's got it down to 0.4 of a second.
This is riding along with Sean Shootman in front of the 41.
He may have a little bit of a run out of the corner here.
Ian Ogden, he's going to definitely.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, he cut him off. Closes the door on him.
Sean got a little bit of a run out of the corner. He's going to try to make a move, I would imagine, down here into turn number 6. He gets on the brakes a little bit later. Not quite there, though.
2 laps to go.
If this is the hottest battle on the track.
We're keeping our eye on the other drivers, folks, in case something changes. But this is, while they happen to be lapped down, this is more position for him.
It is. And Alonzo King just got the white flag, so we have 1 lap to go. But here comes Sean Shootman to the inside of Van Scoik. Van Scoik shuts the door. Sean Shootman has 1 more lap to get it done. Gets a little bit loose. And Sean Shootman is really laying it hard on the brakes there.
He's trying.
He's trying. Oh, big run, big run, big run. Crossover, not there. Sean goes to the high side. Still not quite there for Mr. Shootman. 41 blocks the low side. That's going to give Sean a good advantage, though, right here through this corner. As the 80 of Alonzo King. Oh, here we go. There's a block. Sean Shootman dives it down. He's there. Sean Shootman's there.
Makes the pass. Can he hold it?
Nope, not quite. Oh, this is the tight corner. This is the tight corner. What's going to happen? Who's going to give? Who's going to give? No,
Nobody
no.
gave. Contact.
Back in the wall.
Pitching.
And coming out of the last corner, Alonzo King is going to be the winner here tonight in the Tech4Troops Take It to the Streets. Let's see if Sean has one more. He has 1 more go. He has to go low here. He has to go low. He does.
Oh,
Cuts him
contact.
off. Oh, it's going to be a drag race. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? It's going to be...
Oh, he just.
I think Van Scoik.
Van Scoik squeaked it out.
And Alonzo King won the race with Jesse Vaughn coming in 3rd and David Clayman in 2nd. What a run by the number 80 machine.
Fabulous finish. He just did not give up. He was just so consistent.
The most consistent car on the track. And shout out to Alonzo there. And what a battle.
Place, David Clayman, awesome job.
And Jesse Vaughn, I believe, is this Jesse Vaughn's first podium?
I think it is.
Nice recovery there.
All right, as these guys are making their way around, we're going to take our final commercial break. We will be right back for the final results and some driver interviews.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, as Alonzo King makes his way around for his cool down lap, we have the results from the Tech4Troops Taking It to the Streets of Chicago, presented by Tech4Troops 1111 Project and U-Haul. John?
With the win tonight, we have Alonzo King there in 2nd, David Clayman in 3rd, his first podium here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, Jesse Vaughn. In 4th, Charles Van Scoik. In 5th, Sean Shootman. In P6, you have Zach Ward, followed by David Miller there, finishing in 7th place. Great run for him. Ryan Pittman rounds it out in 8th in the 08 with Jeff Narin in 9th in the 27. And rounding out your top 10 for tonight's Taking to the Streets Chicago event, Ian Ogden.
All right, in 11th, Joe Gregory, 12th, William Mann Jr., Luke Bullard is 13th, 14th, Mike Slagter, 15th, Grant Altizer, 16th, Ty Bostic, 17th, Colin Garrett, 18th, Sammy Harrell, in 19th, Mark Hanna, 20th, David Watts.
In 21st, you have Stephen Gibson Jr. with Russell Keats in 22nd. Harley Barletta finishing in 23rd with Jacob Walker finishing 24th. Austin Habel in 25th. Brad Previtt in 26th. Kane Vanmark in 27th. Jorge Rincon finishing in 28th. Evan Amick in 29th. And Pete Woodrum finishing in 30th. It looks like some of those guys, unfortunately, were not even able to make a lap around, but had a full field tonight. It was exciting.
It sure was. And on that note, welcome Jesse Vaughn to the broadcast booth.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Jesse, you ran a super consistent race tonight. It was certainly, this is a challenging course. Not a lot of experience on this for these Tech4Troops guys, and certainly we'll see more of that this coming weekend. But what are your thoughts?
I've been getting on here all week for not only this race, but for this weekend when we go actually go up to Chicago. So I've been testing the track to look at different viewpoints for our spotters and stuff. So I like running the road courses in the Cup car. It's fun. And then once I got the braking points down, I had a lot of fun practicing. And me and Ian Ogden and Colin Garrett, we put up some rooms for each other and helped each other out and worked on some braking points and stuff. So I had fun. I was looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely proved you ran the fastest lap of the race with a 128.9. Run us through a little bit how, and explain the braking points here, because you have a lot of drivers like yourself, Alonzo King, Clayman, that were really able to figure it out. Kind of walk us through the track and how you had to treat each corner when it comes to braking.
I mean, we figured it out pretty quick when we were testing with each other, just to, if you think you're backing your corner up, you need to back it up even more than that. So we gave ourselves marks and just had to work on being balanced as far as not overdriving it and making up the ground on the exit. So we just kept working on backing the corner up, roll speed, and getting the car straight before we get back on the gas. And the more we were able to discipline ourselves with that, the faster we were going.
How much of an impact was the fact that this is not a smooth manicured race track? This is a street course with a lot of bumps and twists and turns. Was the racing surface challenge as well?
The first couple laps out, it is. We're just trying to figure it out. But after a couple practice runs, you know where the bumps are, when you can shift, when you can put the power back down. So I like tracks like that. I'm not very good at Oda, but I'm pretty decent at Road America because on here it's so bumpy and worn out. So I just use that to my advantage. Use it for the braking zones, use it for the power, and just go from there.
Well, it certainly showed. Any shout outs tonight?
All the Average Joe guys that have let me be part of their team. Tech4Troops, 1111 Project with Ian and Colin, and then I'll be flying up to Chicago with my guys from Legacy here on Friday, and we'll be up there. And I just want to say we're thinking about Jimmy and his family, and I appreciate everybody that's allowed me to race with them this year when I'm available.
You got it. We'll be looking forward to watching your team go this weekend, and thanks again for your participation here as well. So that's Jesse Vaughn, and in finishing in third here, and let's bring in David Clayman, who was our second place finisher. David, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on your P2 finish.
Thank you, Rick.
It's great to see you up there battling. Give us, as you tried to as everybody tried to track down Alonzo, but we certainly saw you basically digging and working hard for every second you had.
Oh yeah, and that was my goal after that wreck on lap 2, was to get right back up there, because me and Alonzo had run all week with this, and me and him were consistent, bouncing back and forth on times. So I know if I got the car clean again and out running, I could probably catch him. But that gap after that wreck had happened, it was too much to make up. Then at 5 to go, I hit the wall and offset my steering by about 45 degrees. So I just let off and said, he's got it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenging race for everybody. You know, dealing with the bumps, dealing with getting into the wall or some incidents and lap traffic. And like you said, you were really close to Alonso in time. Y'all were about a tenth and a half apart for your best lap time. So run us through this track. How do you specifically approach the Chicago road course?
Just like any other road course, I do a lot of road racing on the side, like the endurance races. So knowing where I sit there and spot where good spots to apex the turns are and get a good runoff to get past around guys. Like everybody was looking at the straights, and I was looking at corners. Oh, he's not taking that inside turn as much. I can duck underneath and go right by him, and that's the things I looked at during that whole race and kind of seeing where everybody was at.
Well, certainly it's good to see you up here with the podium finish. David, any shout outs you'd like to put out?
To GameSpires and Scum developers for letting me use their paint scheme and support me through all the racing, and Dark Tempest Motorsports and IWM for the great broadcasting you guys do, and Tech4Troops.
Well, we certainly appreciate that shout out, and congratulations to you and your team on your finish tonight. Let's bring in Mr. Alonzo King to the broadcast booth. Alonzo, on top. Congratulations.
What's going on, guys? How are y'all doing tonight?
We're good. You ran a super consistent race tonight.
Well, I mean, that was what's going to take the win. You had to. And that was my goal getting in there, is just run consistent laps. That's all I wanted to do and stay out of trouble.
I think what we've seen consistently from Jesse and hearing from David as well and yourself is that, you know, if you wanted to be successful tonight, you had to practice. You can't just walk into this one without really putting some time in.
Well, I got to thank Clayman for that one, too, because to be honest with you, me and him are so competitive with one another. He'd get into a practice, he'd run a fast lap, then he'd text it to me. And I'd go into a practice myself, and I'd try to run the same thing. It was just back and forth all week, you know, so that's a good thing. Me and him push each other pretty good, so.
Well, it certainly showed you guys finishing P1 and P2. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, looking at the point standings, looking at the calendar here, Ty Bostic was our first repeat winner. Now you're our second repeat winner, and it looks like you can kind of win anywhere. You won at Richmond, and you won here on a street course. So kind of run us through how you're going to approach the rest of the season. You're going to be towards the top of the leaderboard when it comes to standings. So with 2 wins on the board, what's your mentality going forward?
Wide open now. I got them choking. Now I got to put my foot on their throat. You know, it's the only way to do it.
From here, Tech4Troops moves on to the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro. So that's going to be an interesting one.
That's going to be fun. That's that short track I like, you know. So the only thing I can say is next time let's bring some dirt into it.
Have that conversation with Elliot. Any shout outs, Alonzo, as we wrap up tonight's broadcast?
Actually, the guy that's on my car, Tyrone, he had a birthday 3 days ago. I had to put it in victory lane for him. Big shout out to Scum. Great video game. Everybody check it out. If you like Call of Duty or DayZ, that's a perfect game for you guys. Give a shout out to Dark Tempest. Definitely give a shout out to Clayman. And as much as I hate it, I got to give out a shout out to Suchman. It seemed like every time I was behind him, he was wrecking somebody in front of me. That's how I got the lead. And that's pretty much how I got a demanding lead, and I just pretty much stayed with it at that point.
Okay.
So.
All right. So there's your winner, Alonzo King, in the Tech4Troops Take It to the Streets Chicago Road Course. P2 was David Clayman, and Jesse Vaughn wraps out our top 3. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week at our All-Star race in North Wilkesboro. Same time, Wednesday nights, 8:30 Eastern. And again, thank you for tuning in and following along with this Tech4Troops Cup Series. John, anything else?
No, I'm just ready for the All-Star race. It's going to be a fun one. You guys don't want to miss that. So have a good night and make sure to tune in next week. I promise you it's going to be a great one.
All right. Good night, folks.